the song drop at the beginning, I'm like, we're representing Toronto properly here in this first episode. And I was just so happy. Hey guys, welcome back to Canada Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today, I will be reviewing the first 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. Our girl is here. Kamala Khan is here. Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan is here. My Toronto gal. I am just so excited for all of you to watch Miss Marvel this Wednesday. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Disney for allowing me the opportunity to watch these 2 episodes ahead of the premiere. I am just so freaking excited for everyone to watch this because it's different and it's geared more towards teenagers. If you were a fan of like Turning Red, then it was giving me those kind of vibes as well, especially with the family unit. It's a beautiful family unit, a Pakistani family unit who is really true to the culture and is very authentic with the culture. And it's just such a natural execution of family values that tie in with superheroes. It ties in with Kamala's love for the Avengers, more importantly, Captain Marvel. So I feel like this is such a balanced and well-rounded series. Within the first 2 episodes, they knew the story that they wanted to tell in this case. They know Kamala Khan through and through. And I was just so freaking happy watching this show. Now, the thing that I loved the most was the soundtrack at the very beginning, the needle drop, this whatever you want to call it, the song choices within the first 2 episodes really shows what is going on in Kamala's mind, which I love. And Iman Vellani just has this amazing screen presence. She has this really like kooky nature. She's fun. She's so sweet. And she just has the entire spectrum of what it's like to be a teenager. And what I enjoyed, including obviously the soundtrack, because that plays into what I'm about to say, it's the fact that even like the camera work, the writing, the visuals, all of that is what goes on in Kamala's head. And it's just projected onto the screen in every single way that you can think of. So I think that's really important because you're just sitting in her mind. And that's awesome because everyone can connect to a teenager. Women, young girls can connect to a teen girl, which is really important. Okay. We need women on screen. We need Pakistani women on screen. I just loved everything about this. And culturally, it's just so important to see this on screen. The representation is so important, not only as a woman, but, you know, for like young girls to look up, for young Pakistani girls to look up to her. It's just so freaking important to have this on screen. And then that's the family unit that you see. And I think that everyone can relate to, you know, being a teenager, wanting to go out, wanting to have fun, doing your own things, and then having like a strict parent, but also a very loving household at the same time. It's a very kind family unit. And I feel like what I loved within the first 2 episodes is that even if they do have disagreements, there's an openness, there's an honesty. And you don't see that a lot with family units on screen. It's always like this, just like, there's this anger, or like the child is only like connected to like one of the parents while the other one just doesn't, you know, agree with them. It's a whole thing. And it doesn't feel like a family unit, but in this case, it feels like a family unit. Within the first episode, it just feels different. Like I said, the song drop at the beginning, I'm like, we're representing Toronto properly here in this first episode. And I was just so happy. But of course, this takes place in Jersey City, and it really sets the tone for who Captain Marvel is to Miss Marvel. And I love that for her. It's a very like simple build within the first episode. They didn't waste any time. And I feel like that's why this is different from the other MCU shows. I know I keep saying that, from like Moon Knight to this, whatever, but Moon Knight was different for me. It did, you know, it was slow to get into it because of the way they were telling the story. But Miss Marvel just like dives straight in regards to like her power sets and stuff like that. You kind of get her backstory, and it's very fast paced. Like you just get into her head, you're like invested right off the bat, but it has like that teenage awkward humor. And it, for me, when there's like awkward humor, if it's too awkward and I'm getting secondhand embarrassment, I can't deal with that. That's something I can deal with. But in this case, it was awkward and it made me laugh. So I wasn't like cringing. I thought the writing was fine. I'm a stickler when it comes to humor in the Marvel universe, and it has to work within the character and the dynamic of the character. And in this case, it really does. Like it is just perfect and on the nose for Kamala Khan. I love her. I love her. If you guys haven't watched the Mindy Kaling produced show, Never Have I Ever, on Netflix, this is like very close to it. And I absolutely adore this. I think that women and young girls are going to like fall in love with Kamala Khan, and it's just going to be such a fun show for women. I think they're really leaning heavily on the fact that she's a young girl and we're going to tell this story through a young girl's perspective. And that's really important in the Marvel universe, because I feel like women have been cast aside. They've been sidelined. They haven't really had their stories in like a fleshed out way. It's always been really fast or a little bit too late, i.e. Black Widow. Hello, we saw it, poor Natasha. But there are some great moments in this first episode. And then in the second episode as well, we see that she has her own growth. And I think simultaneously she grows as her hero, and then she grows as a teenager and has to kind of balance the two. And she does that quite well. I think Iman Vellani is a freaking superstar. I absolutely adore this girl. And I just love her confidence. I love that she's completely herself as Kamala. And it really brings out different sides of her as well with different people that she's with. And I think that the vulnerability is also there in order to connect with her emotionally in certain cases. And like every teenage girl, especially in episode 2, there are hormones that come with the age range and you can't control them. And I think that one of my favorite scenes in episode 2 has another needle drop, and I won't spoil it, but there's another needle drop that I was just absolutely obsessed with. Again, the camera work, the visuals, it's all about what's happening in here for Kamala Khan. And I love Miss Marvel. I didn't think I was going to be this obsessed with it. Kamala Khan has always been one of my favorite characters in Marvel, and I was always excited to kind of see her in live action. And I know a lot of people have peeves about the change of the power set. In all honesty, guys, it's not that bad. And they tried their best to kind of keep it consistent in regards to the comics. They tweaked it a bit, but I actually liked what they did with it visually. I was kind of like cheering her on at one point because of what she did, and I was just very happy with how they executed it visually in that case. So Miss Marvel, for me, I'm really enjoying it. These first 2 episodes were great. I really hope that you guys enjoy it too. So guys, please let me know if you're excited for Miss Marvel, if you don't think that she should have had her own show and that she should have just appeared in Captain Marvel in the second one, or do you think that there's going to be any cameos in this one, or it's going to be kind of more contained like Moon Knight? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.